Ready or not, here the CineNerds come.
How we doing, CineNerds? I'm JP.
And I'm Ryan.
And always check us out on CineNerdsPodcast.com. You can get all of our Letterboxd socials, and all of the Facebook for the CineNerds podcast, as well as the Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. Please follow us on all of those. And there's a shop there. What can they find on that shop there, Ryan?
Well, something that I'm wearing actually here will move the computer. For those of you that can see online, I have the CineNerds hoodie. So we've got the CineNerds hoodie, we've got mugs, we've got T-shirts, we've got all the fun. There's keychains, there's, what am I missing here? We got a couple other things I think on there too.
There's koozies, there's all kinds of random stuff on there.
So one of the reasons it's so important to talk about this is because we are limited to what we are able to do. And so if you guys are able to purchase any of these items, it helps us out, it helps another small business out, and we're able to get new fun gear to keep expanding and growing this platform for those of you who like and listen.
All righty. So we're going to get into it.
Let's get into it.
Ready or Not is what I chose today. And to keep continuing into our October Halloween horror films and whatnot. So, you had never seen Ready or Not, had you?
No, I have.
You have? Okay.
It's only a second watch for me though, so it still was kind of fresh, and it was kind of cool because having seen it before, I was able to look at it with some fresh eyes now, and dig in a little more to detail. So it was fun.
Okay, cool. I thought you had not seen this one for some reason.
No, I had seen this one. I think that I still watched it the first time when I did watch it because you had recommended it, though, because you honestly rave about this movie. So I was kind of like, okay, if JP likes it that much, it could be good.
Yeah. And this was, I know I talked about it a lot when we did Abigail. Because the same studio, the same guys that did this, did Scream, they did Scream 6, and they did Abigail, and they did Ready or Not. And I think they did, I can't remember, but I think they did Ready or Not in between Scream and Scream 6.
I thought I had another film mentioned in there, but I can't tell what I wrote.
Reset? VHS.
Oh, he did the VHSs? Okay, so those are a big one for me right now because I have not watched any of those. And I thought I bought the original trilogy, but it's a later trilogy on Fandango. So I'm going to start watching those in order. So
yeah, I know they did the first one. Now, I don't think they did any of the ones after the first. They may have. They did segments in VHS. And I know they did segments in the first VHS.
I did just see there's a new VHS Halloween that just dropped. So that's one of the. When I saw that, I got kind of intrigued. So I definitely want to go down this rabbit hole and explore those a little bit.
Yeah, and their studio, I think, is called Radio Silence, is what it's called. And yeah, most of everything they've pumped out, I've enjoyed.
I am a huge the Scream ones are obviously solid, but I was a huge fan. That was one of my ones that surprised me last year was Abigail. So I was a big fan of that as a new coming vampire movie.
And that's kind of what I was saying when we did Abigail was because I was thinking that you had not seen Ready or Not when we did Abigail. And I loved Abigail, but if you remember, I think in that episode I even said, I was like, Abigail's great, but it's not Ready or Not. But they have some similarities.
I personally would choose Abigail over Ready or Not.
I would. So, I get it.
This is why we're good co-hosts because we have different opinions sometimes, and it works out.
So yeah, Ready or Not is initial impressions. I mean, you kind of gave a little bit of yours, or you want to elaborate on that?
Well, I'm not. That's not to say it's a bad movie. It's pretty spectacular overall. So initial impressions, it's a fucked up family. And it's kind of a comedic horror approach on how we all have conspiracy theories of Hollywood, I guess, if you will. There's worshiping the devil and paying tribute and sacrifice all falls into this movie, even though you don't think it by the title or by the trailer even. So it going into the second set of eyes was definitely a little more enlightening the second time around. So I liked it.
And my initial impression, I did not watch this in the theater. I watched this later once it hit digital and whatnot. And it was one of those, kind of like you said, the trailer didn't give a lot away. You knew it had to do with them playing a game of hide and seek, basically, and trying to hunt Samara Weaving's character down, which I think her name is Grace, I believe. So it was one that wasn't on my. I knew of the movie. I saw the trailers, but it wasn't on like my radar of like I have to see this movie whenever I saw the trailers. So when it hit digital, I watched it, and I was just like, man, I wish I'd have watched this in the movie theater because I just fucking went over the moon with this film and just fucking loved it. Like I will go as far as say may not be my favorite. I'm not saying that, but it is one of my favorite horror films that's came out in the past 10 years.
Wait a minute, rewind. Ready or Not is one of your favorite horror films in the past 10 years. Yeah. I don't consider this completely horror, I guess.
But you look at my taste in horror, though. You know my taste in horror is comedic horror.
Oh yeah, but this is like compared to some of the comedic horror you like. This is like notches above. Like this one I think delivers for quality. I think cast. I think execution. I think this movie definitely sets like I couldn't put this in the same realm as whatever that other shit show is you're trying to get me to watch that you were talking about online.
La Valentula? Or
no.
Or
the one you just tagged me in. You just tagged me on something for that Queer Wolf or something.
Oh, Curse of the Queer Wolf.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good.
I love how you commented and you tagged me into it and you said, I think Ryan Newhouse is going to hate this one, but
well, it's funny. Talking about movies that I think you'll hate. I don't know if I think you saw this. I think you clicked like on it where I had got that double feature Blu-ray in yesterday with Sky Sharks and Bunny the Killer Thing. And the reason I ordered this was for Bunny the Killer Thing. Like, I love that movie. And I'm going to read you something that I got in my Facebook Messenger today. Let me pull this up. So Megan, who is I'm sure is in our comments right now, she actually messaged me this morning, and she said just after I posted that, she I guess went home last night and tracked down and watched Bunny the Killer Thing. So she messaged me this morning, and her message says, I just watched Bunny the Killer Thing. My God, that was awesome. I thought with the warning you gave me, it was going to be another Children of the Corn disaster. There were definitely no pacing problems. It just hit the ground running and didn't stop until the end. I might have successfully made it through this, but I could never see Ryan making it through this film.
Well, I'll make it through any film. I think I only walked out of another film, but I ended up finishing it. It was what was the film I hate so much? House of the Dead.
That's awful.
That one was just awful, and I'm glad I went back because there is a redemption moment at the end. It's a slow motion running scene with amazing boobs just going up and down, so that made the movie worth it. But outside of that, that was the biggest pile of garbage, and the only movie to date that I walked out of a theater for. So no, I'll finish it. I'm stubborn. That's something like even if I start a series, I have to see it through. I can't leave it not finished.
So yeah, that happened, and so that one's bonkers. And the first time I saw that one, me and Trumpy, our old guitar player from AKC, the original guitar player for AKC, we watched that film and we laughed so hard, we were crying almost in the floor laughing at that film.
It's another good film that I think I've talked about it before on the podcast. Yeah, I did. It was I forgot why. I forgot it was in the top 5 for me. But Tokyo Gore Police. That's another one of those that's so cheesy but so good. Like some of those things, you just gotta take it as they are and accept it and have fun with it.
All right, so ready or not. So this movie, read a quick synopsis here. And I actually saw this synopsis earlier, and I don't think this synopsis actually describes this movie very well, but I'm going to read it anyway, and then we'll elaborate a little bit on it. All of us have made certain efforts so our in-laws will like us, but Grace is going to have to give it her all if she wants to fit into her brand new husband's wealthy dynasty, who required her to follow a brutal tradition for the bride to try to survive her wedding night while the rest of them hunt her down. The class struggle that hits the oh god, I can't even read that word. This extreme black satire, starring brilliant Samara Weaving and including the uncommonly perverse Andy McDowell. And that's all it says. It's a weird synopsis how it reads. But essentially, Grace, Samara Weaving's character, she starts on her wedding day. She is marrying into this wealthy, like it says, this dynasty, this family that has created these board games throughout the years.
The Latomos family.
Yes. And everybody who marries into the family has to play a game. They have to draw a card to decide what game they're going to play on their wedding night to be welcomed into the family. There is one bad game, though. So the one bad game is hide and seek. And if you draw that card, the family has to hunt you down and kill you, which is what happens with Samara Weaving's character.
Well, go ahead, finish.
No, go ahead.
So, I don't know, and I don't remember seeing. So keep in mind, JP and I were supposed to film this a few weeks back. So I watched this movie now, like probably a month back now.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
So I'm a little rusty here on this stuff, but I don't remember if they showed the other options for the other games, because I'm curious to see how those other games would be executed, because there's so much different things happening here that it's confusing. So there's a shit ton of married couples in this family at this thing. So, but they say they've only had to do the game, or maybe they only pulled the hide and seek card one other time. I think that's what they said.
Yeah, they said, well, and within that generation, they had only ever been pulled one time, or within the living family that was still alive.
So with the hide and seek card, I guess my question is, if they only pulled it one at a time, is that a guaranteed they kill them or they all die? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Okay.
They have to sacrifice that person.
Yeah, so now I just want to know what the other parameters are on the other games, I guess.
The other games is just games. There's no sacrifice for them, and this is an interpretation that I get from this. Is so there is a kind of a throwaway line after they're married, and her new husband tells her that they have to play a game. It's a family tradition, and she's like, I play a game. What kind of game? He says, well, it could be anything. It could be, I think, like backgammon, tic-tac-toe. He throws a few games out there. He's like, we just play the game and we're done, so I don't think there's any consequences to the other games. The only card you don't want to draw is hide and seek, because if that card is drawn, then they have to kill the bride as a sacrifice. Now, how I understand this and how I interpret it is, if you draw the hide or seek card, it's not by chance, because this family essentially sold their soul to the devil to earn this empire, but for this family to keep making money and being successful and living, they have to do this. And every so often, there has to be a sacrifice. So the person they're sold to, the Mr. What's his name, Mr. LeBay.
Yeah, it's LeBay. I kind of got vibes of like the Papa dude from New Orleans.
So I think Mr. LeBay is basically, if somebody marries into the family, this is my interpretation. Now, if this is true how it is, I don't know. This is my interpretation. If somebody marries into the family and they are a generally good soul and they have a good soul, that's who he wants to sacrifice. I think all these other people that come in and marry into the family, they're married into the family for money and greed or this or that, and so they have a dark side to them. And I don't think Grace has a dark side to her. Or even at the beginning of the film, you see the other person being killed, which was the aunt's husband. I believe he was a good soul. I believe he was a very kind person. So Mr. LeBay is taking good souls, is the ones that he's wanting sacrifices for.
I think that's a very open interpretation, though. That's a lot to reach for without giving the context. I get why. It makes sense. But, like, I guess to me, too, the other thing is, like, I feel like if they had taken the whole family dies or she dies out of the equation and they had made the other games equally as have some serious consequences, basically. I feel like we could have had a lot more. I don't know what they're going to do in the sequel because we know we've got a sequel coming. Or I don't know, maybe it's a prequel. But I do know that it would be cool if they could play other games with equally intense consequences. So I don't know. I'm kind of left wanting more, but in a darker way from the other games. I don't want to see another family do hide and seek again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are getting a sequel, and I don't think it's a prequel. I think it is a sequel because Samara Weaving is returning. So,
interesting.
And I think it revolves. I can't remember who the other girl was cast in the film, but I believe it may be the girl from Freaky, the main girl from the movie Freaky with her and Vince Vaughn.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
She was in Abigail.
Yeah. Okay. I actually liked Freaky. That was good. I thought that was decent and well done.
So, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, it's in production, so we'll find out in the near future. So,
yeah. Did you know that Samara Weaving's character had 17 versions of the wedding dress that were made because of all the different variations of scenes and going through the motions between stabbings, bloodiness, all the gore, the rip, the tear? There's 17 versions of the dress. That's pretty impressive. Another little trivia tidbit, too. Apparently, Samara Weaving didn't know how to drive before this movie. So they had to teach her how to drive so she could do the scene where she's escaping in the car.
Yeah, she didn't know how to drive. They had to teach her how to drive or show her how to pretend to drive for some of the scenes. And also the Chuck Taylors that she wears had to be custom made because they no longer made that color. Converse no longer made that color. So
that's right. I do remember reading that too.
Yeah. So
there's the yellow, right?
Yeah. And Samara Weaving is also Hugo Weaving's niece.
I was going to say that. I've got that on my little trivia list too. Hold on one sec.
Well, I lost a co-host here.
What's that?
I said I lost a co-host here.
Well, I realized that my phone was across the room, and I had some notes on my phone, so I just wanted to make sure I had that too. I got my old handwritten notes here too, but I keep them on my phone as well.
Yeah, I've got a few on my phone. Actually, I didn't even pull them up. Actually, and what I normally do is, as I watch a film, I just start writing in my notepad on my phone, kind of what I'm thinking as I'm watching it. And I didn't actually write a lot of notes when I watched this film this time. Like, I don't know. I think I just got so involved watching it that I found myself not typing like I normally do.
Well, that, and I think when we originally intended to do this batch, we were hoping to do it all. Like, we had listed like 5 different things in a week, and we were trying to get a lot done. in a short amount of time, and I think we all kind of heard it. But
Yeah.
I went back since we had time, and I made a few more notes. So, one of the other fun things. So the Domos Family Empire, the board game things, they're based on Milton Bradley Company and Parker Bros. So I don't know who had it in for that family, but apparently they're throwing them under the bus saying they're Satanists.
And Hasbro owns those companies now.
Well, I mean, they're pretty evil. They control my Star Wars toys, and I get mad about that.
Yeah, no more Kenner. No more Kenner.
Yeah.
Which wasn't Kenner in based out of Columbus or Cincinnati?
Originally, yeah. I don't know now, but maybe it still is.
Well, I don't think they're a company anymore because Hasbro bought them out.
I think the Kenner name still is on certain things.
It is, but Hasbro owns it, and they just slap it on there. Yeah,
right, because they have to. It was part of the contract negotiation. Or whatever.
So I think there's 14 kills in this film. 14 or 15.
It honestly feels like more.
Yeah.
But the first one is the maid, right? The maid.
There's a couple maids that get it, but yeah.
Well, the first maid. Sorry, that kill scene was kind of. I mean, I really have to say I do appreciate the ways they approached humor in this were done very well, because it was like this dry, fucked up kind of humor versus like the quirky cheesiness, and I was here for it. It was kind of funny, and the fact that Winona Earp was a raging cokehead and running around in this too was insane. But that was a quintessential kill for me, because that was kind of where Grace Samara Weaving, where she essentially realized, oh shit, these guys aren't playing. This is real. So it was kind of interesting seeing her behind the bed with her now husband.
Yep.
And her husband was trying to explain this to her, but she didn't understand the severity of it. I think she thought it was still like just a game. And I mean, you could even tell that when she was in the dumbwaiter, where she was hiding in there, and she's like, yeah, I've had enough of this. She thought she could just go to bed and that was it. She didn't realize that it was a very serious game. And so when she's hiding behind that bed and the kill happens with that maid, I was like, okay, this just got interesting. This is a lot more fun.
Yeah. The kills in this are great, and the action sequences get pretty intense too. With her coming out of the door and walking out of the I guess like the servant hallways into the main corridors, and the family being on both sides of her, and the coked out Emily character just starts opening fire towards her other family on the other side of the hall, trying to get her. Did
you ever watch Winona Earp?
I didn't. I've heard good things about it though.
I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good series and a good play on the Earps as a whole, and the way that it transpired was wonderful. So, but her character, I love that actress. I think she's solid, and so her in this, she owns that character. That was all the. I have to say, I don't think, for me, I don't think a lot of this movie hype was as big as it was. I felt the story did fall apart in certain spots, but the cast, no matter what happened that I had a problem with, the cast carried it, and the cast made it likable no matter what. Like, I couldn't be upset with what was happening because the cast was that good all around.
Yeah, no, so, the cast is great, all of them.
Well, if you're not familiar with Adam Brody either, so my first introduction to that guy was my wife. I only watched a few episodes there, but I think the show was called The OC. He was on that show as like a young teenage buck, and I really hadn't seen much of him. The guy doesn't age, I know that, but his quirky, witty banter was just superb. And he plays like you got the cokehead with Winona Earp, but with him you get the alcoholic, and he's always drunk, but he's always seems like he wants to do the right thing. So he's a good character.
Yeah. All the cast, even what's his name? Is it Fitch? The one guy that married into the family that is just constantly being I don't know, he's just kind of off the wall, silly and clueless, and he's kind of
the fat one?
Yes. Yes.
I can say that because I'm fat. Thank you. No, no, yeah,
I wasn't going to say the fat one.
no, I will. My sons and I had that conversation the other week. I was talking about somebody's weight, and my son's like, "Dad, you can't say that." I'm like, "Yeah, I can. I'm fat. Like, I literally." No. Anyways, he was character. He was a character for sure. Didn't he get a spear gun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think is he one of the ones who said, "Can we get a weapon from this century?"
He got a it was a crossbow of some
Oh,
sort.
crossbow. Okay,
Yeah.
but it was like the old school one where you had to do the foot lever pull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he was like watching YouTube videos on how to use it and how to use a crossbow and
yeah, it was good shit. Um, So I did want to also address some of the detail as far as how these actors covered it in the cinematography, because there, like I said, any of the faults I found in this movie easily were overshadowed by the positives. Like, so I love, and this is a little moment. This is a little moment, but I don't know why it means so much to me. But when Samara Grace is trying to get through the gate, and her wedding dress is tearing, and you're seeing a slow cut happen across her back. That's the kind of shit I really, really dig. It makes it more real. It gives you more depth to it. It shows her actual pain. It's not just her running and tripping and hurting her knee or something. It's actually showing what she's going through as this person trapped in the scenario. And I don't know why those little moments of detail mattered in this movie a lot.
yeah, that scene is cringe. It'll make you cringe watching this fence, this sharp edge on this fence actually rip through her skin. It's pretty cringeworthy. And that's one thing I'll say about Samara. Like, she can be over the top silly and a comedic actress, but when she really conveys pain or things of that, she's fantastic. You believe. I feel like you believe that she's in pain. And you talk about that scene, but if we talk about the pit scene with the goat carcass pits, so Samara actually gets shot in the hand. She has a hole in her hand, and she falls into this pit that's full of dead carcasses. Very reminiscent to the Abigail scene in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So she climbs out, and at the top there's a nail sticking out of the top of the ladder, and her hand literally goes in it straight through where the bullet hole in her hand was. And the pain, now, when I tell you this, I don't know if you know this or not, but the pain she conveys in that scene of when her hand goes through that nail, pulling herself up and whatnot, to me, it's believable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the nail was CGI.
I didn't know that.
The nail was CGI, so there was no nail there, and she plays all this, off without anything actually being there.
Okay, I got to complain about that though. I mean, I enjoy it. Her acting is great, but like, why the fuck did we need to CGI a nail? like, that's the shit that just like, I put a rubber nail there. You know what I mean? Like, that's too much.
I get it.
No, yeah, I get it.
But a lot of the practical effects in this are great, and even even the over-the-top CGI effects are great in this film.
I like the sequence that follows right after she gets out of that thing, though, and she deals that little boy, that little fucker. Jesus Christ, that kid, you could tell he's evil incarnate because of his parents, and he wants to hold her accountable and do right by his family. Like, they've already brainwashed him and brought him into the fold unintentionally. These kids are paying attention. So yeah, I was kind of happy that he got knocked the frick out.
Yeah. She comes out and just is like, basically, fuck you, and knocks this kid out, like little kid.
Yeah, like maybe 9 or 10, somewhere in that ballpark.
And even after the gate scene that you're talking about, the fence scene, the butler or whatever he is that is tracks her down and carries her back. Well, even when she gets out onto the road and she's screaming for help, and the guy drives past her, and she's like, "Fuck you," you know. But the butler catches up with her and knocks her out, throws her into the car, and is bringing her back to the house. and she turns into another badass. You know, starts kicking him in the head as he's driving down the road and flips the car. She has so many strong female moments in this movie, and you know, I don't even think it's just this movie. She has a lot of strong final girl female moments in multiple movies that we've seen her in. You know, whether it be Azrael or even the Babysitter movies. I don't know if you've seen those.
I did. The wife and I watched those. They're on I think they're on Netflix.
Yeah, they're Netflix exclusive. The Babysitter and the Babysitter Killer Queen. It was the sequel with her and Wednesday Addams, Jenna Ortega. But I love the strong final girl with her.
Jenna Ortega, you said her name. That one's got problems for me. We had a discussion recently. I told my wife, I'm like, I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I think she's hot. She's a hot actor, but I almost said kid even. And the reason that's happening to me is because she's the same age as my daughter. And so I'm like, so I can't even look. Like, if I even look, I'm like, that's just weird. No, it's weird. But at the same time, I'm like, she's pretty.
Well, and she's not even, she's young, but she's not even that young. I think she was in her 20s when she.
Yeah, she's same age as my daughter. Yeah, that's why I'm like 27. But I normally like.
Yeah, but what I was getting at was like when she did Scream, she was like 20 or 21 when she did Scream, and she was playing like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, and that's true too. Like I didn't think she was an attractive actress until probably last year.
I get what you're saying, but I know. But I'm just saying this because I think even a lot of people, since she's been playing Wednesday Addams, I think they think she's younger than what she is because she looks so young, but she is well in her 20s.
That's fair.
I like her as Wednesday Addams. I didn't much care for her in the Scream movies. I didn't much care for her in the Babysitter Killer Queen movie, but you know, I watched those for Samara Weaving, and I watched them for over the top silly kills and bonkers storylines, you know, which is kind of where this movie goes. It gets into some really bonkers shit towards the end.
And that bonker shit's phenomenal. I have to be honest. I like that she's so. We were talking about what'd you say, LeBay or whatever his name is,
Mr. LeBay.
Mr. LeBay. He reminds me more of like a Papa Legba type guy, because especially after we see that silhouette towards the end. So as you're watching this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, there are descriptions and they talk about Mr. LeBay and basically that they sold their soul. But you're never really given a clear understanding of what kind of demon he is, who he is, if it's Satan himself, anything like that. You're just kind of led to the dark. But they always talk about the only person who's seen him is their patriarch at the family. And so when things escalate and we get to that final room scene, Samara or Grace, she sees him sitting in the chair. So, you know, he only's seen by those he wants to see him. So it was kind of like his, you won this round, that type deal. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the segue into the sequel. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to play the sequel because, I mean, technically she just inherited an entire fortune.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So now she could be obligated to sacrifice now.
She may be.
And so maybe she has to figure out how to get Mr. LeBay off her back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or what if she donates the whole fortune? Oh, I don't know. I'm spiraling here. I'm spiraling.
So yeah, this whole build up to the end when they bring her in to actually sacrifice her, Adam Brody's character poisons his family to where they're like vomiting. She ends up getting into a fight with the mother and she kills her. The whole house is being set on fire at this point. And she ends up getting dragged back by her husband. Her husband, she thinks, is going to maybe help her. And then he realizes, you know, he's like, "You're not going to be with me after all this, are you?" And grabs her to take her in to sacrifice her. And at this point, the sun starts coming up. and she's won the game. And everybody at first, they're like, oh, we're fine. We're not going to die. Nothing's happening. We're okay. Then all of a sudden, they start exploding one by one.
But it's and what's funny about it is it's like it's Lost Boys style.
Yeah.
So like when in Lost Boys and the vampires get staked, they just explode goo everywhere. And that's where these people start exploding left and right. It's good. It's well worth the watch. I liked it.
Even the kids, the Emily character, the coked out mother, Winona Earp, goes running out of the room with her and her two small kids, and you see a huge explosion of blood blow back into the room, and then you hear toof, toof, and two small little bursts of blood fly back into the room.
It's you know what I feel like those kids. I mean, I get it, they're kids, but I also feel like they shouldn't have been in Mr. LeBay's wheelhouse. Like they should have to have some kind of a coming of age or some kind of rite of passage before they can be exploded.
Yeah.
Do not unplug my computer, little girl. My cat, she's like, I'm going to chew on this cord.
I was doing something a while back with my green screen, and I think maybe I first got it and I was setting it up and trying to get everything dialed in with the green screen. And all of a sudden, I hear something rummaging around behind me, and my green screen all of a sudden falls backwards behind me and falls down, and my handicapped cat starts running down the hallway here, bouncing off the walls, running into everything on the way. And I'm like, you little shit.
You know those tunnel tubes that cats play in? So Jess bought one without the tunnel part on it, just the spiral ring, and it's got little feather things on it and all this stuff. Well, my black cat, he's playing with it. His name's Binks. He's playing with it and gets it. He gets himself tangled in the one end, but while he's doing that, he's rolling it towards me. He gets my foot caught in the other end. And so when he starts freaking out and I stood up not realizing I was caught in it, I'm dragging him while falling. He's meowing, flying. They're always doing something. Did you get that on video at least is my question.
I did not. I wished I did. I wished I did. I think I wasn't recording. I was still trying to set things up and dial things in, and yeah, all of a sudden I was like, oh, this looks good, and all of a sudden the green screen goes away, and I'm like, so yeah, the whole family explodes into a gory fucking mess, and I love it. I love how bonkers this scene is. Is so ridiculous. It's so over the top, and I love Samara Weaving in that scene because she just starts laughing, giggling and like a happy laugh.
What else are you gonna do? Like that's one of those moments like when you take a deep breath and you say for fuck's sake, because it's just there's nothing else you can do. That's such a traumatic whole experience. Like the person you loved trying to fucking butcher you because of a family legacy, but he tries to play like passive aggressive good guy, and then the rest of the family just straight out trying to kill you because all they care about is themselves. It's a lot to take on. So like by the time she survived this night and survived numerous attempts at her life, I mean, I would laugh too.
And after that, she grabs the mother's cigarette case, goes outside, sits on the steps while the house is on fire, burning behind her. Huge mansion on fire, and lights a cigarette, sits down and starts smoking a cigarette covered in blood while fire department and police show up. And the end. I don't the insanity that and this it's weird for me, and I think it's why I love it. It's kind of like you said, this movie's super serious, but then it's super comedic, but then it gets super off the rails bonkers. And I love all of it. It's so well done. I love the, and I didn't even mention this, the antique wash over the whole film. This has everything. Almost has like and the look of the film just has a kind of almost an antique kind of brownish wash over it, and I love the look of the film.
I like that. The only areas, there's a lot of handheldness, not shaky handheld, but handheld still. And it did kind of diminish what they were going for a couple of times, but the rest of it was so good, it was overshadowed. It didn't, it's one of those things I keep saying, any complaints I had about this movie are overshadowed by the rest of the other things coming together. So that's always a good thing when you can look past any faults or criticisms you normally would have given because the rest of it's so good.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so well done. I mean, it's like you said, it's that studio with these guys. You know, I mean, you've seen their work in the reboot of Scream. You've seen it in Scream 6. You've seen it in Abigail. Their quality is top notch. You know,
what I will say about this is based on Abigail and Ready or Not. This studio is a big fan of minimal casts, groups of people, and closed sets.
Yeah, and the mansion where this is filmed, it's the same. I know some of this stuff was filmed in the same location where Billy Madison was filmed.
Oh no, I got a whole bit about that. So this is mainly filmed in Toronto, Ontario area, and this was filmed in the same spots that they filmed one of the X-Men films, The Pacifier. Let's see what I got the whole list here. Hold on. Oh, it was X-Men in 2000, 2015's Crimson Peak, and 2005 The Pacifier.
Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of the outside shots of the mansion was what was used in Billy Madison.
Ah, okay.
I don't think the inside shots were built, but like all the grounds in Billy Madison was shot there.
Well, that's cool.
So
that would have been cool if they put a little penguin hidden somewhere. I love those fucking penguins.
Did you look at box office and budget?
I did, only because I didn't know if you would.
We discussed this.
I know, and you ruined it, and you didn't do it. So I just looked in case.
So the budget for this was $6 million.
Well, and to be fair, though, I do not have the page open with my notes on it that had that on it before. So budget was $6 million. I don't remember what it hit.
Do you want to take a guess at the
Yeah.
box office?
So I feel like this one might have started slow. It might have not delivered as much as it intended in box office. And I'm going for a weird number. I'm going to go 57 million.
You remembered that.
Did I?
You're dead on the money. 57 is just over 57 million.
Okay, I had to remember that. That had to lock in my head because I promise I'm not reading to the right. It had to stay in my brain. That's crazy because I didn't read it before this either.
Yeah, it was just under 29 million domestically, and then worldwide it was just over 57 million.
Look at me, Ma. I retain information. If it only did that in school.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the review. I mean, what's your actual rating?
All right, so I did have a lot of little moments where I was put off in this film. A lot of little moments, though. I stress that. But I feel like the attention to detail, as far as the number of dresses, the 17 dresses, the small little attention to detail, even though I complain about CGI nails, the intent for what they're going for and the acting, the crawling through the front gate, the supporting cast, the witty banter. There's so much good stuff here, start to finish. There's a supernatural element. It kind of checks a lot of boxes. So for me, this movie is definitely a higher number. I don't remember what I put Abigail at, but I'm going to put this one at 4 CineNerds. Straight 4.
Yeah, I don't remember what I rated CineNerds. What would I rate CineNerds?
You better fucking rate it real good.
I don't remember what I rated Abigail, but this is definitely higher than Abigail, and I really should have went back and looked at what my rating for Abigail was, but I did not.
We've gotten to a point in the show where I don't remember some of the movies we reviewed, and I go to choose it, and I'm like, wait, we already did that one, or did we?
Yeah. Well, kind of like me the other week. I was like, well, we've reviewed Willy's Wonderland. You're like, no, we haven't. And yeah, no, we haven't. We never reviewed Willy's Wonderland.
We talked about it.
We talked about it.
Yeah. So it's getting to that point. I mean, as you pointed out on the Facebook page, we're creeping up on our 100th episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So. This episode is I think our 93rd or 94th episode.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I think I had it to where our 100th episode, I believe, was November 20th. So
we're gonna have to make it a good one.
Yeah.
What's your rating on this, JP?
So, again, I've gave a lot of my hand away on this one. Like I've watched this when it hit digital initially, and man, I fell in love with this movie. I said it at the beginning of the episode. This is one of my favorite horror films of the past 10 years, and Samara Weaving is she is hands down my favorite modern final girl.
Okay.
I'll say she's my favorite final girl. She's my favorite modern final girl. She's done enough horror now that she's kind of becoming iconic for me within the horror genre and the things that she's done. This movie, though, like I just said a minute ago, I love how serious it is. I love the comedic aspect. I love how it goes off the rails and gets real bonkers. I love some of the gore in this. Is some of it's kind of cringeworthy. You're just like, oh, fuck me, you know. But then some of the gore is so over the top and ridiculous, you just laugh about it. Yeah, so that's why I love this film, and it's so. It gets so off the rails, but it does a little bit of everything, and it does a little bit of everything that I like. So for me to do a little bit of everything that I like is kind of makes a movie that I just really fucking love. So I'm going to sit at a 4.4 on this one.
4.4 nerds. All right. Nice. Well, I think we're kind of around the same area here. I think that you definitely like it a little bit more than me, as clear in our ratings. But this movie is just a solid gem. It's one I haven't added to my collection yet that I'm going to make sure I add to the collection. I want to make sure I have the right copy of this, though, in the collection when I get it. Yeah. But, yeah, it's a great movie, and I'm looking forward to the sequel.
I did read there was the original ending to this film. The original ending to this was they actually sacrificed Grace.
Ooh.
And the bad guys win.
See, that's like we were talking about the original ending for Natural Born Killers, where Mickey and Mallory get killed, and so there's some. I definitely hope those are things I wish that were included in your special editions of these movies coming out, because those things are rad. Those are cool to see an alternate timeline possibility or an alternate option, and I like those things.
Film recommendations. I have a lot of film recommendations, but obviously I can only do one. So. You got anything?
Yes. So you guys are going to see me releasing these. I'm going to do lists of 5. I'm going to do increments of 5, and the last one will be an increment of 6. I'm going to do 6 videos that will be my Halloween watch list. And this one is the one that's gotten to me the most so far. It's called Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back. It's same people who did Talk to Me. And Talk to Me I felt was pretty decent. I didn't feel it was anything amazing, but it was decent.
I didn't like Talk to Me.
Well, I liked it. I felt it had a lot of redeeming qualities, and I liked that it was a more unique approach than the standard exorcism, cursed items type thing, and I was here for it. But Bring Her Back took it to a new level for what it was doing for me, and there's a couple specific scenes that I was like, oh my God. And I turned my head away because I couldn't look at it. And if you're somebody who's faint of heart for teeth being messed with, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see this movie. But yeah, it's It's one of the first ones that made me turn my head and think about things for in a minute that I had seen.
Uh, I'm gonna recommend another movie that just came out, just hit digital. That is a movie I've been waiting on to hit digital. I missed it in the theater because it was only in the theater for one weekend. Ick. Did you see the trailer for this one?
I saw that you were talking about it, but I'm not familiar with Ick.
So Ick is, which is ICK, Ick, stars former Superman Brandon Routh, and it essentially is the Faculty meets the Blob.
Okay.
And if you like cheesy, over the top, fucking science fiction horror films, you're gonna fucking love this movie. I waited and waited. Knew I was gonna love it even before I watched it, and was super excited for it to finally hit digital. And when it did, I was like immediately bought it. You know, it hit digital I think a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, and it was a new release for $14.99. So I was just like, I have to see this film. So I just bought it, and I was not. It was everything I anticipated it to be. Now it's not going to be a Academy Award winning film by any means. You know, it's everything that I expected it to be, and I fucking loved it. If you like the 1987 Blob remake and you like The Faculty, you're going to like this film. Yeah, so check it out.
Sounds good for me. I'm going to check it out.
Alrighty. You got anything else?
No, just do us a favor. Share this video. Share any of our posts, honestly, from our Facebook page, anywhere you can, and pick up our, go to any of the audio listening pleasures for your podcasts and check us out. Look at some back episodes.
And same thing for me. That's what I wanted to add was, please share the video. Please share, the Apple Podcast links or whatever. Share our website. But even more so, anytime we post an episode flyer, please share that. Share anything that is talking about our episodes or share our episodes. It helps bring new people in.
Yeah, and not to beat a dead horse. I mean, I know we talk about the sharing and all that every episode, but we just really need to expand past the group we're at right now. We've got a great, solid group, and the only way we can grow is with your help. So just sharing it, getting it out there, any new eyes, new ears helps, and helps us keep going.
Righty. Till next week.
Later, guys.